The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Hi, this is Thomas with Klaus Brewing Company, here with InterBrews.
This is InterBrews.
Yes, all things said so far
are true.
True, correct, accurate. Hey, Thomas.
Hey,
How's it going?
good.
Good. I'm glad it's good. Welcome to episode 164 of InterBrews.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we're at Klaus Brewing Company here in Houston. I guess this is kind of on the edge of the Houston Cypress.
Yeah.
What's the
Sci-Fair.
Sci-Fair. Yeah, we'll call it
Sci-Fair?
Sci-Fair. Yeah. This
Okay.
is literally if you go. I know that when I first moved to Houston, I lived on Jones way long time ago.
It's right here.
But just right around Jones and Grant, literally just right around the
Further
corner, it was Cypress. The address was Cypress because that's where my wife lived. Well, my girlfriend at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right.
so this is my area.
It is.
I'm very fond of this area. This takes me back, harkens me back to back in the day.
The good old days.
The good old days. Yeah. I mean, we're still in the good days. Just the old.
Right.
Good old. Let's talk Klaus Brewing. Let's talk about the newest brewery in this area.
Yep.
First of all, awesome facility here. We were looking at your brew house before. You're not quite up and running. Well, you're brewing, but
We're doing test batches right now.
yeah. But you just got your equipment in last week. We actually scheduled this episode for last week, right? And you got a bunch of equipment in last week.
Yeah, we had our equipment for a while, a couple of months already. We were just waiting to get far enough along in the build-out in order to have the installers come in and set it up and show us how to run it and all that good stuff.
That helps.
Yeah, that helps a little bit.
You were just right before we started tap lines being worked on for the tap room. Was that?
Yes, I just met with the draft beer guy, I guess, David, and we were going over our options for the draft beer system.
Cool.
So, yeah.
And did you decide on delicious beer? Was like
That's what will be flowing out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we decided on that.
okay. So if you look at your social media, look at your website, look at any community impact. You've been in community impact a couple of times. German style beers is
German-focused brewing, German-focused styles.
Okay.
So, Hefeweizen, Alt Beer, Helles, Kolsch, Bach, all the typical ones that we're going to focus on.
Yeah. It's really, those are some, I say some of my favorite. I think there's not a style I don't enjoy.
Yeah.
But man, German styles, those are the first ones I really started studying. And
Yeah.
so good. Like just for this area, this time of year, like a good Pilsner or Helles or something.
Yeah, that's a very good one for this time of year. We are going to focus on that initially.
Mm-hmm.
We've got other plans to expand from there.
Okay.
We'll maybe do more regional type stuff outside of Germany. We've got special series we're going to do.
Cool.
So there's a lot on the plate coming up.
Yes. Okay. I would imagine. I mean, I'm looking around. I see bags and bags of hops and all kinds of goodies sitting around. Take us back. How did we get to this moment here of opening a brewery?
That's a long story.
We got all the time.
Yeah. Go. I started home brewing in college, so over 20 years ago.
Where'd you go to school?
Stephen F. Austin.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nacogdoches.
Lumberjacks.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's where Kate's at right now.
That's where his fiance is.
Ah, okay. They opened up Fredoni Brewery up there about a year ago or so.
Yep.
You've been there, right?
Been there a few times.
Yeah.
Well,
Good stuff.
And just got really interested in the whole brewing thing, and mid to late 90s, and ordered literature on how to open up a brew pub or a brewery and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a pipe dream then, young and broke. Not going to happen. Wanted to go to brewing school right after I got married, which is probably the worst time to do it. Because that would have been being gone for months and months. So it didn't happen then. Then life happened, kids, job, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And so here we are. We're back around at square one, and we kind of in a spot where we can make this happen. We had other people very interested in helping us make it happen.
Cool.
And it's happening.
Okay, so in the description on community impact, it talked about you had over 20 years of home brewing experience. That's a lot of time. You also just mentioned kids too, and I have to, before we go any further, I have to say hello and welcome for the first time to our summer intern, my daughter Haidyn. Hello, Haidyn.
Hola. Huh?
Bringing a little sass to the show. Thank you. Summer intern program going strong here on InterBrews. So thanks for being a part of your first ever podcast, I think. I mean, we've recorded at home, but on the road. Good job so far. Just saying. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. Feel free to ask any questions or say if you have any beer thoughts or just thoughts on life in general. It's an open forum. Okay. Don't feel like you got to hold back. Okay. All right. Okay. So back to homebrewing. Especially like I started homebrewing. You were just little bitty. I bet you don't even remember the first time I homebrewed. It was at the old house. You were probably 2. I don't know. Anyway, it was a Texas wheat, Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
So Texas wheat from St. Arnold was what got me into homebrewing. I've talked about this a million times. So when they said they were taking it away, I was like, I'm going to brew that. And so that was kind of the catalyst. I had the ingredients. I was like, I'm going to try this, but I was super intimidated by the process. So I just let it all sit there in my closet for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what intimidated me so much about it. It was just, I knew some people that homebrewed, but not real well. And so I'd never set in on it or anything like that. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. And finally did it, and it didn't taste anything like Texas wheat, and it wasn't all that great, but I drank it all anyway.
Right.
And it was like, oh, okay, I get it now. And these little ones were sitting out there with me. They would throw the hops in and stuff like that. I mean, they were little bitty, so it was a lot of fun. But you've been homebrewing for a long time, and it brought you to here. So what got you into homebrewing initially? Because if you're talking about 90s, that's a whole world. Like that's a whole
world of difference.
Yeah.
I was in a small town in college.
Yeah. Okay.
And so I came across it, I guess, in the back of a magazine, and I was like, that's interesting. So I bought the equipment, of course, the regular buckets, and boil it on the stove top and watch it boil over.
Yeah.
And
not good.
Not good, but
it happens.
It happens.
Yep.
And my first batch was about the same way, barely palatable, but you drink it anyway. And a lot of experimentation off and on. I did it off and on for years. I didn't do it consistently until probably the past 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
I picked it up strong again. So.
You still doing it?
Yeah. I've got a Schwarzbier and an English IPA.
Are you doing it here or at home?
I'm doing it at home. Those were my last 2. They're almost done, so ready to drink.
Yeah.
So any additional brewing from here on out will be over here. So.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's So I'm kind of the same way. I've done it on and off. I'll go in spurts. I'll do a bunch, and then I'll just kind of let it sit there for a while and come do more. There'll be more podcasting and everything else. Work and life gets in the way, I guess. But then, you come back to it and you're like, all right, well, I want to try this. I've never tried this or whatever. And you're like, I want to try a different style, or I want to try a different, method, brewing a bag or something like that.
Right.
What was the thing that brought you back to brewing 5 or 6 years ago and then just lit the fire, to use a pun?
That's hard to say. I just reignited an interest in it, and I started back again almost basic stuff.
Yeah.
The first one I came back with was an extract kit, and I had done all grain before, but getting back into it after not doing it for several years, I started back with extract and then went into all grain, and then I finally, upgraded to some really nice German homebrew equipment, which is not cheap.
Yeah.
And but it's extremely easy to use and efficient.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the reason I got back into it, I don't know. This fire came back, and and it has been building ever since. And it built into this. I didn't want to quite actually go this big, not that this is a huge project, but when I started doing market research and everything, it was just, and seeing how we were kind of what I believe is just on the cusp of a big growth cycle for Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're still early.
Yeah, I do too.
And I was like, I got to go as big as I can for our budget.
Yeah.
And for demand to grow. So
for as much time as I've spent in this area, I don't guess I realized, and this is hyper local for this area, I didn't realize that the neighborhoods like Steeplechase and I mean, I've driven by them a million times on Jones here, but I don't know
Mhm.
that I've actually driven back into the neighborhood. There's a lot of people that live right here.
Yeah.
This is it's always this area's always busy, 1960
Right.
and all this, but people, I mean, you're a neighborhood brewery. This is going to be, you know.
And we're going to be, we're going to focus on, we're going to, what I say, grow organically. We're going to focus on neighborhood, bring in the locals, tap room focus, and then we'll grow, with distribution and stuff, local bars, restaurants, things like that, and grow out. I mean, of course, if somebody wants our beer that is, across Houston, we'll accommodate. But, our focus is to grow outward. So.
What are the first beers you're planning on coming out with as far as hitting the
Our initial plan is for a Kolsch, an alt beer, Hefeweizen, and then a surprise beer. We're not quite sure what we want to do yet. It might be our first in our Tour of Europe series. It may be at the English IPA or an ESB, something
That's
like
cool.
that.
Okay. All those are good styles.
Yeah.
Like Kolsch for this time. I mean, it's just all those are.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We wanted to do a Helles also, but it takes a little longer to brew.
Yeah.
And we wanted to get stuff online fairly quickly, especially since we've been pushed back multiple times.
Yeah, that sounds. It's a similar vein that goes through the stories of breweries around here opening up. It's like you have an ideal timeline, and then you even can schedule it out as much as possible. Like this should take this amount of time, and there's a lot of people to go off of. Like this should take this amount of time. You even average it out.
Yeah.
There's always that unknown. I guess with any business, but since we talk about brewing a lot on this show,
A lot of unknown and waiting and waiting and waiting. So.
Yeah. So your brew house, your brew system, all electric. It's super, super fancy looking.
Yeah, it's all electric, not traditional type of all electric with elements and stuff inside the kettle, but it uses a superheated water boiler, basicly, or not really a boiler, a steam generator, but it's got what looks like basically a hot water tank, big hot water tank, I think 1,500 liters or something. And that hot water comes out already above the boiling point because it's under pressure. Goes through what we call a boost system, which has the elements, and that goes into the jacket around the kettle, and that's what boils or heats up to the temperatures we need. So it's
That's
really
cool.
kind of innovative. It's something new on the market.
Yeah.
So, and it's extremely efficient, about half the energy use of a boiler, electric boiler.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks almost space age. You go in there and you're like, whoa, this is another level.
Yeah.
Where did you come across that? Where did you learn about it? What was the?
I was set on going with some German, Speidel 500 liter system, and was homebrewing in the garage one day, just scrolling through stuff on the internet, beer related stuff, and I saw a sidebar advertisement for another 500 liter system. I'd never seen it before, so I clicked into that and started researching, and it was this company, and it was far and above better than the German system. The ease of use, the efficiency, the ease of cleaning, all that stuff was amazing. And it just turned out that they have a U.S. distributor out of Florida, so that helps when you're dealing with people from overseas. So, and I contacted them, and it turns out that they were developing larger systems, which this is one of them. This is the first one in the U.S., by the way. Yeah. So we're a test subject, I guess, for the market. And it was just amazing. I went over to Slovenia last summer to visit the facility, check out all the stuff. It was great.
Now, Slovenia, that's north of Nacogdoches? Where's that?
Yeah, that's northeast a little bit.
Okay.
South of Austria. It's a little bitty, maybe 2 million people.
They have a big beer scene in Slovenia?
Huge.
Really?
It's a big wine country, too.
Okay.
It's everybody's got a vineyard in their backyard there.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Note to self.
Beautiful place. Cleanest capital I've ever been to.
Really?
Yeah, amazing.
Cool.
I would suggest anybody to go there.
Okay. Do they have like their own like Slovenian beer styles or takes on styles?
They've got their own hops, the Styrian Golding, and I can't remember the name of the other one, but that's really something that's their terroir. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
terroir.
I think so. We'll go with it.
But yeah, they have a very big growing beer scene there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
They're really on the cusp as well as far as growth. But they have a lot of issues with the government. So
Okay.
As far as brewing or what?
Old Eastern Bloc. So a lot of that resistance and red tape is still there.
Are they kind of like semi-socialist kind of deal, or how's that?
Used to be, but it's changing.
Okay.
The very extremely high alcohol taxes.
Okay.
Yeah, it costs more for tax than it does for the beer.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. Yeah, but they're working on that.
Okay. That's good.
Luckily, we don't have that problem.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
We have the Texas
problems.
craft pack. Yeah. Maybe we can get the Slovenian version of that over there. Help them there. And
Yeah.
yeah.
They need it.
Yeah. Slovenia. Well, that's cool. So first in the U.S. For that system. And I was going to say, I don't know. Yeah, your brother is who all? Okay, so as far as your brother was,
Mike.
wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, he was here just
He was here.
a minute ago. So I'm guessing this is a family affair as far as the
Family affair. We've got a couple of investors that wanted to go in with us. They're real excited about it. They didn't even second guess it. So we've got one from AirServe, Rick Jones, and we've got Justin and Justin from Third Coast Electric. So
Cool.
those are our two other investors. So been really helping us out a lot. Of course, they're handling all the electricity, the electricians, so that helps out a lot as well.
Yeah, you have your own substation.
It's pretty massive.
That's baller on a whole nother level. I don't.
Yeah,
You're the only person I know that has their own substation.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
It's pretty overwhelming.
Haydyn, did you have a question? You have any beer related questions? Okay, just give me the high sign. Okay, you're getting. I was thinking like, electricity and substations and stuff. I know that's kind of your after dance. You're kind of into that, right? No.
As she looks at him, puzzled.
Yeah, it's
Right.
a dad
Dad,
joke.
what are you talking about?
Anyway, just let me know if you got any questions or want to have something you need to say.
Okay.
Okay. Or want to watch a show on your tablet. That's fine too. Just give me the high sign. Okay. We're working out all the details on the summer internship thing. Okay. What shows have you been watching lately? What's the one with Tiffany Thiessen about the girl that's at school that has cancer? What's that one? The Netflix show?
Alexa and Katie.
Alexa and Katie. Yeah. You remember Kelly Kapowski?
I do.
She's the mom on that show. So it's
Oh.
like a little tie-in.
Oh wow,
Yeah. She spends a lot of time in Houston. I don't know if y'all knew that.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, she has the cooking. I don't know if she still does her cooking shows, but she hangs out in Houston part of the time. So
Didn't know that.
yeah. What's the bar? Not Onion Creek. One of the other creeks.
Cedar Creek?
Maybe I think Cedar Creek is one of her hangouts. Apparently,
Okay.
allegedly.
Huh?
I don't know. So everybody go there and watch for.
Stalk the place out?
Yeah, Kelly Kapowski. Were you a big Saved by the Bell fan?
Yeah, when I was younger.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not now, of course.
Not
Yeah.
now at all.
That was every day after school, right? Come home,
Yeah.
Brady Bunch, 2
Double
episodes.
Dare.
Was that on in the afternoons?
I don't know.
I think that was Saturday.
Saturday stuff.
Yeah, they're bringing that back.
I saw
Did you
that.
see that? Yeah.
Also, what I'm seeing is a keg with a CO2 that looks.
Yeah, we
What-
had a little. Every Friday we have a few people over, and
Right.
if I have something available, I bring it.
Mhm.
And that was a little pilsner, an experimental pilsner I
At the house?
had. So
Looks like it needs to be broken down and cleaned.
yeah,
Yeah.
we need to clean that one out.
Okay.
When is this place gonna be officially open?
That's
good
a
question.
very good question.
Way to keep us
We
on
are
task.
hoping to start our soft opening within about a month.
A month.
So it'd be nice to get it done before July 4th, but that's
Big bash.
going to
Yeah.
be. There's a lot of variables involved on that.
Yeah.
The sign is perfectly clear. It's a good looking sign up front.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, we
That's,
wanted to focus on that. We wanted to be a little different in our focus as far as image and visibility and things.
Mhm.
You see a lot of places that open up and warehouse. I mean, this is kind of a warehouse type facility as well, but a lot of times they're in the back.
Right.
They're not very visible, and we wanted to be a little different. We wanted to be visible. We wanted to be on a very busy road, because we
This is-
feel that helps with visibility and business and
Yeah.
growth, and And we'll also have a fenced-off beer garden in the front. So,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That'll pull everybody in. Because we were driving down Jones just this past weekend. I was like, oh, there it is. Look at that. And it's like the sign. You look over and the sign.
Clear as day.
Right.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
So
we did decide to go for the smaller sign.
that's the smaller sign?
Yeah. No, I'm joking.
That's cool. So hopefully by the end of the summer, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
During the summer.
Yeah. During
Before
the
y'all?
summer of 2018.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. For people listening later on, you can come. Like if you're listening a year from now, hey, come on by Klaus.
You'll be here.
They've been open forever.
Yeah.
What are you waiting on? But we'll be back here before then. They'll have another episode or two to listen to
Yep.
from
Good.
Klaus.
Good.
Is there going to be front? Is there going to be parking in the front, or is
A few spaces. We're going to have food trucks, so
you wanna use that
we're trying
area?
to figure out how we need to position that.
because I saw the fire lane there. I don't know. I didn't see any parking lines painted.
Yeah,
Directly in the front.
they're in the front, but like next to the sign, next to the facility sign,
Okay.
the
Okay.
property sign. But there's only 4 or 5 up there anyway. So
Mike's a volunteer firefighter, so he's always looking for fire escapes,
I
fire
see, I
zones.
see.
No parking.
Yeah, the
Parking lanes.
The extinguisher. How many extinguishers have you put your eyes on since we've been?
I haven't seen any. Actually,
Except
no,
for the
I
one
haven't
you
seen
carry
any.
on-
I haven't seen
The
any.
one you
may
carry
be-
on your belt.
there may be one floating over there somewhere.
Yeah, he's all about that.
No.
fire.
We have a floating fire extinguisher.
There you
Yeah.
go. There you go.
Yeah, but there's no open flames on the brew house, right?
No.
No gas.
and no gas involved either.
No gas or flames or
Yeah.
boilers or anything like that.
So does it keep the brew house? I mean, obviously we're in the. It's a hot. I don't know if this is hotter than normal.
Feels like it.
It feels like it, right?
Yeah.
Like it just smacked us right in the face. Like it went from being really nice for a few weeks and then just boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
Stand over in the brewery about 3:00 in the afternoon. And
No.
you'll-
Sweat. Yeah.
Yeah. I mowed the yard this past week and I lost like 6 pounds in like
I believe it.
an hour and a half. It was like, this is the best diet I've ever been on.
Yeah.
It's an easy way to cut weight right here. But man, woo. But I would imagine with there being no open flame and all that, I mean, I guess you're going to get the residual heat from like the water tank and stuff, but does it keep the brew house cooler?
Yeah, I hope it does. We didn't really experience too much heat off the system. Now the heating part of the system, those elements, that box warmed up
Yeah.
a good bit. Not to where it would burn you, but it was
You tell it's
pretty
working.
warm.
Yeah.
So you could tell it was working for sure.
Yeah.
And we do have our chiller unit. It's an indoor unit. So
Okay.
right now that's just pumping into the facility, so that adds to heat. But we're
Mhm.
going to have that vented out. So
Okay.
hopefully that'll reduce that issue.
Okay. I was going to ask
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No.
No, say earlier we were walking through. You had the what do we call this? Like a octopus arm or something?
The ductwork?
The ductwork. But I just thought there was another funny name for that. But your air condition in
Yeah.
the tap room. You said
Mhm.
that's there, but not quite.
Yeah,
Pumping
they're
yet.
supposed to be powering that up today, wiring that up today.
Mhm.
It's
Okay.
installed. We're just waiting for
Right.
them to run the electrical wires to it.
Yeah.
So that is one thing we wanted to definitely focus on, was to have an air-conditioned tap room side.
Yes.
So, it's a little bit more pleasant during the summer for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And we put a big unit in there, so it'll be nice and cold.
Okay, let me ask about brewing process, because if you're doing German brews, a lot of those, at least old school methods, are like decoction and double decoction
Yeah.
mashes and all that stuff. Is that how you're gonna, like, I don't know, depending on the style, obviously. Have you been able to do any of that with this system? or
No,
is
we're
that-
gonna not do any decoction. That
Okay.
I'm not even interested in doing that. That's a very labor intensive and time intensive type type of deal. So, and we're not set up for that.
Okay.
So
That's a whole
it'll
other thing.
all be infusion and
Okay.
brewing. So
Cool.
yeah.
That's
What?
But the cold side, the fermentation side, a lot of that's the old school, very traditional way is you lager a lot of the lagers
Mhm.
to clarify them and all that stuff, and to age them a little bit to help with the flavors. But we're gonna have to play around with that. So
Okay.
especially to get going, we're gonna do more ale focus just so we can get online,
Gotcha.
and then we'll get into the lager side.
What were some of the beers that inspired you to want to go German focused on your brewing? Was it that you loved the brewing process of these styles that much, or was it the styles themselves?
Styles themselves, I kind of my mom is German, so she even lives over there with my brother, and so I go over there every summer.
Cool.
I have been since I was a little kid, since I was 3. So
that's cool.
Not that I was drinking beer at 3, but
where in Germany?
In a little town called Bayreuth. It's north of Nuremberg, about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Bavaria, Lederhosen. A lot of Hefeweizen in that area. They're known for that in that city. And so I just like the easier drinking, lighter styles that most of the German beers are. Not that they don't have some nice, richer, darker stuff, but the lighter ones are what I really liked. And just the ease of drinking. I don't think I've really had a bad beer over there yet.
Yeah.
I know they exist. I've heard, but I haven't had one yet.
There's so much history there. Like when you talk about like the age of their breweries, 100 years. There's a lot.
Oh, that's a new one. That's just opening.
Those are the young whippersnappers.
They still have their now open sign up on a 100-year-old.
Did you have a question about what? Go ahead. Was it about Germany? Okay, what was it about?
Is the flooring place still going to be here when the brewery gets here?
For now, it is. Yeah. We'll still have this over here, and we'll play that by ear as we grow.
Excellent observation. So this is your company before. What's the Texas Flooring?
It's Texas Flooring and Renovations.
Flooring and Renovations.
So we do flooring and renovations. Yeah.
That's you know what? That's super convenient that your company's named that, and that's what y'all do.
Right.
If y'all were plumbing,
it
would be like a really confusing situation.
Yeah, it kind of helps out.
Yeah. Since we're making observations, Haidyn, did you see the samurai sword over there? What? Do we get to play around with that after the recording?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. My associate, his son, is very good at karate.
Oh, cool.
And so he won that at a competition.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh.
Yeah, we won't. It's probably better if we
I'm not
don't.
going to touch it.
No.
Yeah. I mean, not that I don't have some excellent, like samurai skills.
Right.
Pretty sure you don't.
Have you ever seen me? So you can't say that I don't.
He doesn't.
Yeah, you've never seen me with a samurai
Look at
sword.
that.
We just watched Napoleon Dynamite the other day. Were you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reese wasn't.
Oh, Reese wasn't. Yeah, but yeah, all the bow staff skills. Yeah, yeah. So, was it funny? Did you like that one? It was hilarious. Off the wall. So yeah, that's cool. So the flooring, this business helped facilitate the brewery. Is the plan, I guess, to go full-time brewing at some point, or?
Oh yeah. By the way, we're putting feelers out for assistant brewer.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're looking for one.
Okay.
So I'll be the head brewer, but we need an assistant.
Okay, like right away.
Fairly soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike. You wanna-
I don't know. I mean, I homebrew, so I don't know if it's
Would be a full-time position.
daunting.
Yeah, I think every home brewer thinks about it, but there's always
Yeah.
that self-doubt. Like, I haven't brewed enough beers to know.
Yeah, then you go in there and you do it like we did Sunday, and then you wonder what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
So, but we have the desire, so
Yeah.
we do it.
Okay, perfect candidate for your assistant brewer position.
Perfect candidate, somebody that's got at least a little bit of experience on the commercial side,
Okay.
brewing. Just to come in and do all the hard work. So,
All right. So somebody with experience, maybe in this, if you live in this area, I guess that would be a bonus for you. So you don't have to. Driving is whatever.
yeah,
It gives you more time for podcasts.
That's
There's
right.
that. So maybe if you live in Sugar Land, it's fine.
Yeah.
Come drive on
Perfect.
up. Listen to InterBrews as you get here. Okay. We'll put that out. People
Okay.
listen to this show. People that know people. And people that know people that know people. So,
good. Well, they can send any inquiries or resumes to klausbrewing@yahoo.com.
okay. klausbrewing@yahoo.com. You're also really good about responding to Facebook Messenger. I don't know if that's if you want people to get on that.
Yeah, you know what? I mostly respond just via Facebook.
Yeah.
And so if I'm a little delayed, it's because I haven't been, at my PC or looked at my phone in a while. But as soon as I read a message, I always respond to it.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, because I talk to a lot of people through social.
Yeah.
And I've got my phone in front of my face all the time. It's
All the time.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's annoying. I annoy myself
Right.
with how much I'm here, always talking to people. But it's like most people like yourself have a healthy relationship with their phone. They set it down. They go do life.
Yeah.
I got mine right here in case I just need to touch it just for a little bit. But just message Thomas. I'll get back to you. Yes, Haidyn, another.
This is off topic, but
Oh, that's perfectly in line. You're definitely my daughter. Go ahead. As far as being off topic.
so are you gonna make more companies, like more
Make more companies? That's a good question.
more?
It's a lot of work to make a company. So
I mean, you've done 2 already. What are you
Yeah,
doing
we-
next week?
Let's see, the German restaurant that's going to come later
yeah.
on. No, that's phase 8. Yeah, that's down the road.
Okay.
We'll do food trucks, but
Yeah.
no kitchen right now.
Okay. Does that answer that question? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a good question because, I mean, 2. Most people don't do any. He's
Right.
So he's got a lot.
Where'd the name come from?
That's a good question.
I wanted it to be a German name. I wanted it to be something that sounded strong. So I figured, something started with a K. That sounds pretty, Karbach, Klaus. It's very strong sounding type
Uh-huh.
German names.
Mhm.
Karbach was already taken. But it just so happens to be my son's name as well. So,
Okay. Cool. How old's your son?
He's 11.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's just 2 years older than you. It's your same age as your sister. Does he show any interest in the beers and all that?
He's very interested in chemistry.
Oh, that
so
helps.
that might
A lot
work
of
out.
beer,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that might work out.
Good. Yeah. Keep
Start
on that.
grooming him.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Just let that go.
How many kids you got?
One.
One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got
One boy.
just the chemist.
Yeah.
That's all you need, though.
That's
If you did that's good. If your one son is a chemist,
good.
base is covered.
Yeah, I've got my stepdad in Germany. He was a chemist for breweries for about 30 years over there.
Okay,
and
that's cool.
so he is constantly hounding me about having a completely separate laboratory
Mhm.
and all the stuff that's way too expensive for a startup.
Yeah.
But he's very adamant about that. So
Have you said, hey, come on over to Texas?
Yeah, I want him to come over, but he's 2 weeks at a time is probably not going to help me much.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's really interesting. He took me around. He has all the contacts over there. Say like at Weinstefan, we went down there and talked
cool.
to those people, and it was very, very interesting.
Is
So
that
he's
that's
got
the world's. Is that the world's oldest brewery?
world's oldest continuous brewery right
Okay.
now.
Yeah, like over. It's not 1,000 years, is it?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Close to it.
Yeah. Like
Wow.
Yeah, you can get. They're. What did I get the other day? Dunkelweizen or one of their beers. You can get them here. I don't know how fresh they are when they get here. Maybe they're. I don't know.
Probably not as fresh as they should be,
Yeah.
especially for a wheat beer.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's. I've never been to Germany. I really want to go. Like, there's a whole bunch of beer places. Like everything's like beer motivated for where I want to go, and Germany's
yeah.
like top of the list as far as where I would love to go.
Yeah, it's great.
So when you go and you talk, do you speak German?
I don't go hungry and I don't get lost. I'll put it that way.
Okay.
So
Where you can read
enough
the
to
street
get
sign.
by.
Okay.
Yeah.
Read street signs and restaurant
Right,
maps
right.
and ask a question or two if you need to.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't speak any German.
No.
So there's that. Maybe I'll hitch a ride with you.
Just about everybody speaks English over there. So
that's good.
they're good. Yeah.
Good for them. Good on you, Germany.
Yeah.
Bad on us.
Yeah. It's cool though, the connection between, I don't know if it's, well, I guess this part of the country, but most, here in Texas, the German connection to,
Yeah.
The history is just chock
It's a
full
lot.
of German. It's a really cool mashup. Like our friend Scott Metzger from Freetail, he's half Mexican, half German,
Mm-hmm.
and Germexican or whatever he
Right.
called himself. And then living in Texas, it's just a cool mashup of, heritage and history and the food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like Tex-Mex food goes great with German style beers.
Oh yeah.
And that's the thing I think I don't know if I complain about this the most, but all these Tex-Mex restaurants that just, I guess the basis for those, the cerveza style, just the logos they're really getting. It's all kind of the same beer. But like
Yeah.
a good like Oktoberfest or something with beef fajitas or
Yeah. The heavier food goes really well with, some of the German beers.
yeah. Have you ever been to Oktoberfest?
Not the one in Germany, no.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
They have another. What's the one I was just reading about? They have like April Fest. It's like the little or something. It's like
In Germany?
Mayfest?
Mayfest.
Yeah.
Yes. Have you ever been to that one?
No. No.
Okay.
I typically go between those two.
Okay.
I'm a summer guy over there. But
How are the summers over there? Are they this hot?
usually they can get warm, but
Yeah.
typically it's very temperate. You know,
Okay.
you'll get. Last year we went, it was beautiful the whole time, about 75 degrees during the day.
Yeah.
It was really awesome. Gets nice and fresh at night. So, perfect beer drinking weather.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. There's so much about the German beer heritage it's good. Like, tell me if I'm pronouncing this. Gemältigkeit? Am I pronouncing that?
Gemütlichkeit.
Gemütlich? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I butchered that right.
Yeah.
Say that one more time.
Gemütlichkeit.
Gemütlich. Gemütlich?
Gemütlich.
Sorry, Arkansas tongue. Yeah. Gemütlichkeit.
Yeah.
Like
Close
the
enough.
cat.
There you go.
Gemütlichkeit. Do you know what that means, Haydn?
No.
It's a sense of, let's say, tell me if I'm getting this right. It's like a sense of coziness and hominess.
Yeah.
Like kind
Sense of well-being.
Yeah, there's no English word that's the equivalent. It's like
Right.
the thought of sitting by a fire with a cozy like blanket on you next to somebody you love, enjoying a good beer. Like all that wrapped into one word.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Watching a movie on Netflix, maybe. I don't know. Watching a series of unfortunate events on Netflix with your loved ones.
Yeah.
It's a good show, by the way. We just wrapped up season 2. I recommend it. Good family-friendly entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Neil Patrick Harris. He's a talented dude. He's great. It's a funny show, right? It was fun. I don't know when
Cool.
season 3's coming out, but it'll be the final season.
It always ends on a cliffhanger.
Yes, a major cliffhanger. And now
What's your bag?
Yeah,
Whittling your bag.
Yeah.
we're gonna have to
Bring it
rewatch
back.
it by the time they come out with season 3 because that was the thing. It's like we waited on season 1 until we could all watch it, then we went right into season 2, and now we gotta wait.
Mm-hmm.
So there's always
Bummer.
yeah. Now we gotta find something else to watch. Anyway,
What's the next closest brewery here?
The next
290
closest
or Bearded
one, I
Fox?
think, distance-wise, is 11 Below.
yeah,
Okay.
just right down. You got 1960.
Between 6 and 7 miles. We really were striving to be the first in Sci-Fair. That didn't happen. 11 Below is the dividing line is Cutton Road, and they're on the other side of Cutton Road. So they weren't.
They're Houston,
They're,
right?
they're technically not in Sci-Fair. Bearded Fox is Tomball.
Mhm.
Right.
So we thought, okay, we got a good shot at being the first one out here. I mean, I don't know how much that means.
And you said
but
you're not?
we are not.
Oh,
There is
Wicked Boxer.
Wicked Boxer.
But that, that's okay. First, that's right by my
Is that
house.
Sci-Fair
Yeah.
or Cypress?
Well, same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, Sci something. Okay.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, I'm just right, like literally within walking distance
Yeah.
from Wicked Boxer. That's not that close, really. Like as far as
They're further out. Yeah, they're.
it's
from us.
when you think about pockets of neighborhoods and stuff like that,
Mhm.
it's like even within Cypress, it's a completely different kind of area. As
Yeah,
far-
way
so-
out there. Is it Mushki or?
Yeah, they're on
Yeah.
Mushki and Shiel. All German. Are those German sounding?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What's it? Jurgen?
Jurgen.
Yeah.
Just all those roads out there.
There's I believe Twisted Acre.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
on
It's gonna
Telge.
be way out there.
Yeah,
as
Telge
well.
and Grant. But that's closer out to like getting towards like
They're
90.
even further out
Yeah.
than here.
So
Mhm.
it's, I mean, yeah, there's being first, but then there's also this area. This is a different area.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah,
far-
this is.
This is
for
more
sure.
in town. Well, I mean, we're not quite fully in town, but yeah, we're
townish.
further
Yeah.
further in, and
Oh,
these
yeah.
guys are further out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's definitely like, for somebody that lives in Cyprus, you when you're going into, there's two sets of going into town. It's like
Right.
the German language or the English language. English language only has so many words, right? So I'm going to town. You could say I'm going into this part of Cyprus, which
Right.
is kind of where everything was established for a while, and then things are just now getting out to that part of Cyprus where you're almost to
Mhm.
Waller. Waller's probably the next place to get a brewery, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got, there's just not, I know there's one in Hempstead coming up.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, Coal Fox, I believe.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I don't know how far along they are. I know they were building a pergola, or what's the other word for pergola? Not pergola, but anyway, pergola. Would you say
Yeah.
pergola?
Pergola.
The
Yeah.
outdoor thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of pecan trees. They're on some land out there. But again,
Wow.
it's close as in like mileage wise, but as far as like living, that's a drive.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good little drive.
So like you said, I think we're way on an upswing. We hadn't even gotten close.
Yeah, we're probably just entering tween years.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to relate it to something.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And when you think about, like, that really is a good way of looking at it, because you think about the history of Houston brewing. Like St. Arnold was the conception and the pregnancy, where it's like a lot of anticipation. It's like kind of its own thing, and then it gave birth to like Southern Star, and then you know, there's so much change that goes on through those early years, and you think, wow, look how much they've changed. Like, I think of my kids, they grow so fast. You know, from the time you're an infant to you're a year old to 2 years, like so much changes, and it's like, look at how much it's changed, but it's not anything compared to when you're an adult. And we're not even close to being an adult brew scene.
Yeah, no, not
in
at
this
all.
area. So that's a really good way of looking at it, because you look at it like, oh yeah, we're at 30 or 40 breweries in this area, but the area that we're talking about is huge.
Yeah, I mean, we're like 45th per capita or something like that.
Yeah, we're way down.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, and the population in this area, and I know out where we are, it's growing like crazy.
Yeah.
So just to keep up, I mean,
out in Sci Fair, it's even worse. Obviously, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I think Texas overall is one brewery per 140,000 people or something.
Yeah.
And
can you imagine 140,000 people showing up here on the weekend?
Yeah. Well, out in Sci Fair, it's like one per almost 300,000 people.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So,
so
we're full. No more breweries out here. We're okay.
It's a bunch of. But you think about it, that's a bunch of people. Like when you think about what does 100,000 people look like? You know, you look like a Michigan Ohio State football game.
Right.
That's about 100,000 people in that. That's a gang of people. That's a whole city. Yeah. So there's no way to, you know.
I mean, if you had 1% of that as your regulars in the tap room, that would not be bad.
Yeah.
You know, 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. Yeah, that'd be full time. You know, good luck. You know, good luck keeping up, depending on your brew system. You know. That's, you know, that's a bunch of people, and that's the thing is that people talk about, you know, beer being on the decline overall with big beer when you link in big beer.
Mm-hmm.
But man, craft beer is growing.
Huge.
I mean, huge, and just people are learning more about it, and as kids grow to be old enough to enjoy a beer, right?
Yeah.
They'll have never known what it was like to have to go to the convenience store and get a horrible macro beer. You know?
Yeah. If it's anything like Germany, maybe they'll change it to 16.
Maybe.
I don't know if that'd be a good idea here, though.
I debate it when you think about it. Like, but they have less incidents of like the binge drinking in college and stuff like that, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have any data to back that up, but it seems like it's just not as a.
I see a few younger kids passed out on the street every once in a while when I'm over there.
You always have the.
But you know what? There's definitely a lot less instance of, I guess, since they do a lot of public transportation and riding their bikes, you don't have as many instances of the drinking and driving. So that's good.
That is good. I think technology is going to help with that a lot. With like now we've got Uber and Lyft and that sort of thing. But then
that's huge.
And then, you know, bring in the self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Well, Lyft
actually
actually has a program with craft breweries to offer credits. You can buy a set of credits and offer it to the people that have what we call over-enjoyed their stay. Yeah. So you can get them home.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you hope your son owns this place when he grows up?
That'd be nice to be able to pass it off to him. You know, if we stay around that long and successful, then hopefully he can carry on the torch.
Yeah. Do you want to take over this podcast when I'm too old to podcast? I'm just saying, if we're going to get into all this. I mean, you're doing a really good job now. You've already asked like 3 really good, better questions than Mike and I have come up with, maybe in the whole time that
podcasting.
Yeah. So you may be a natural at it. I'm just saying. Give it a thought. Don't say no to it offhand. We'll let
think about it. Yeah.
We'll let that marinate.
So we were talking about the other local breweries earlier.
Yeah.
How have they helped you? And I'm not going to say hurt you. I'm sure it's just straight help with questions and, you know, as far as waiting and licensing and all that stuff. You know, anybody that you've talked to.
Yeah, you know, believe it or not, I took a brewery certification course out of Dallas in the fall. Journeyman brewer is what they called it, and part of it, which is unlike a lot of other brewing schools, is there's a practical part. So I got to work at 3 breweries here in the fall.
Here in this area?
Yeah,
okay.
No Label, Sigma,
Yeah.
and Cyclers.
Cool.
Cyclers was very interesting.
Yeah,
just for the
Clay.
simple fact that it's in a barn on somebody's property.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Personal property. So it was, and there's no signage.
Yeah.
He had to give me the directions, turn at this tree and go down this dirt road.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was, I figured there's no way anybody's going to find this place if they want to try to find it. But sure enough, somebody did while I was there one day.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, I think last time we were out there, somebody drove. I was like, "Hey, is this the brewery?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're not doing tours at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to come back later.
That was real interesting. So,
yeah. He's got a cool setup out there. That's a picturesque kind of, like when I think of German, like that's kind of a little piece of that when I think of like some little brewery in Germany.
Yeah, it's real nice out there.
Yeah. That's cool.
So you started working at the places and you just started meeting the people and.
Yeah, it was very brief. The program, I was just supposed to be at each one for a few days, 2, 3, 4 days maybe, depending on scheduling. So very brief, existence is each one. But it was very interesting seeing how each one operated differently.
Mm-hmm.
And
they all have very different personalities as far as the breweries themselves.
Oh, yeah, big
like,
time.
It's like Sigma's down in the city.
Yeah.
I mean, they all make good beers in and of themselves, like
right.
kind of their different approaches to it. No labels, that laid back kind of. Katie's not that country anymore, but it's just kind of a laid back. Jennifer and Brian kind of have, that's just their personalities kind of reflected onto the brewery. They're
Right.
Super just, hey, yeah, come on, man. And and then Clay doing his thing out in Montgomery.
Yeah.
It's just. Yeah, it's a completely different personality when you look at like how a brewery set up. So that's cool to get to see.
Yeah, and when I was at Sigma, John Holler from Holler Brewing came over to use their keg washer, and because his had broken down, and so it's really really cool to see the brewers kind of still being able to cooperate, helping each other out like that.
Yeah, they were John and then Matt from Sigma and Casey from Eureka. We did a round table. Mm-hmm. Brewers Roundtable
at Holler.
Yeah.
Oh,
so, yeah. They're all. I mean, I guess when you're that close and kind of it's kindred spirits kind of thing. So that's I see that, and they're not. It's like you look at them like, oh yeah, they've been around for like a year. They're old. They've been around forever. You kind of I look at the everybody I've met in Houston and just the brewing industry, craft brewing in Texas is all. Nobody's south of. Really cool. There's people are just they're inviting, they're super, welcoming to sit down and like, the fact that you're giving us an hour or more of your time to just sit down and talk.
Oh yeah, no,
it's a really cool thing.
I hope I can provide that for everybody, but it may be a little overwhelming at some point in the future. But
well, that's cool. They get to sit down and listen to this this conversation. Yeah, so that's what with the podcast, but. Between brewers amongst themselves too. It's a I guess ultimately everybody your competition sort of, but I guess everything in life is competition for time.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean it's just part of the reality of it. But I hope that like out here in the Cy-Fair area, you talk about the brewers around here. Everybody's really really cool, and you see it, people helping each other out, and some of the bar owners and stuff. We've got. Like Brew 30, they just had their grand opening Tiffany over there on Telge, and just some cool places out here. Just
it's growing. I still think we have a lack of places like that to go to out here. There's still a lot, so a lot of room for growth in that area as well.
Yeah, that's Mike, your brother asked me if I had worked at a brewery or anything like that. Yeah. I do fantasy like brewery career. Like, well, if I worked there, this is what I would do. I sit there and think it's like, okay, well, if I was in that situation, I'm like, this is what I would do. And I think everybody that's into this, I think everybody kind of goes to that thought process. But like to have a little neighborhood spot, that's kind of the thing that appeals to me the most. Like it tucked into my neighborhood because it's my neighborhood. It's a lot of that's needed, I think.
Yeah, you're starting to see a lot more of this hyperlocal type stuff, which is really, I think, indicative of the way a country ages. Look at Europe; everything is local. Go around the corner, there's a beer garden.
Yeah.
It's like that all over the place, and so you're starting to see that kind of form here, and people, I think, enjoy that. They have a place that they can feel like, hey, this is my place, and
No, okay, let me ask you something that's just because you've been to Europe and I haven't, so I'm going to assume that you know everything about Europe. When you talk about like Europe getting hyper local, and it's been like Europe's old.
It's old
compared to us. They've been around forever, not forever, but way more than longer than we have to establish kind of that. I guess you ebb and flow with generations and what works, and then there's also a couple of world wars in there and stuff too.
Right,
I guess that helps shape things, but it's kind of a weird dichotomy with like a European Union, like trying to force all those different, like very different cultures together, but then also still having that hyper local. Do you think that's how would you fix the European Union? I don't know if there's an issue there. I don't know it's just I guess an observation.
Right.
I don't know if that's a question. But.
Well, it's funny. It's a lot more open, and I think as far as what I've experienced over there, it has made it easier to move about.
Okay.
So you're not constantly changing currency. You're not constantly showing your passport at the border, every 2 or 3 hours if you're doing a long road trip through 2 or 3 countries in a day. Mm-hmm. So it's made it easier in that aspect, but there's still a lot of, they still got their identity intact as far as what I have experienced.
That's cool.
There's some diversity over there, not as much as here, of course, but yeah, it's not, the lines haven't gotten blurred just yet.
Okay.
I don't think.
Well, and it's like I guess you don't want people to be jerks is kind of the ultimate goal for the world. It's like if everybody could quit being jerks, then just kind of like do your thing and then like check out what they're doing over there.
Right.
That would be kind of the ultimate goal for life, for people, humanity.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to, you want to go to a place, say, let's just take Germany, for instance, there's this image of it, and with lederhosen and the sausages. I mean, all the stereotypical stuff, which is very much true. And you want to be able to go experience that. You don't really want that to change too much.
Yeah.
And but so far it's pretty much intact.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I like when I saw that you were going to focus on German style beers. It's like you get a taste of that. The German side of things, but it's also very much with a Texas twist, so it becomes like it's this new thing. I mean, you're in Texas. We're dealing with the heat. You're dealing with just the way Texas is. So it's going to have influence on you as a person and your brewery and the beers and all that kind of stuff. So it's I love the fact that even in Houston, you go to different parts of the city and you get to experience new beers. Like the beers from Galveston Island, I don't see up here.
Right.
Which is good because I want to go to Galveston Island. I want to try the Galveston Island beers,
Right.
Do you need to sign for that? Are we good?
No, we're good.
Oh, good. Thank you. Mail delivery. What do you think's in that package? Anything beer related?
Looks like it's big.
Yeah.
Big packages.
Cool.
Semi-big.
Yeah. You don't think there's any more hops, do you?
No, I think we're hopped out right now.
How many different noble hops are represented in this room right now? Do you know?
Let's see. I would say at least 4.
Okay. Do you have a favorite hop?
A favorite hop? You can never go wrong with a Holler Tower.
Yeah.
The Middle Frew is the traditional, tried and true. I'm going to start maybe experimenting with the Hefeweizen a little bit on some of the newer ones they have, like the Mandarina or Melon.
Yeah.
So
plays well with
just
that.
to give it a little switcheroo from the traditional,
When it comes to Hefeweizens, the one you brew, do you skew more towards like citrusy or more clovey banana, or what's? Do you have a preference?
I've experimented around with that a little bit. I prefer a little more of the banana side.
Yeah, me too.
And the ones I've done, they've kind of skewed towards the banana angle.
Mm-hmm.
So in the last one I did it with the Mandarina as the little flavor addition at the end, and it had a really nice, almost mango pineapple tinge to it with that citrus undertone. It was really interesting. It was very good.
Sounds refreshing.
Yeah.
And that was a Hefeweizen?
That was a Hefeweizen. So it was very interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep it traditional style-wise, but I'm going to play around within the boundaries. I know there's the Reinheitsgebot and all that stuff, but we're going to play around with that a little. We might bend the rules a little bit on that, but people will probably be quite surprised that we may not open with an IPA. So I know those are super popular, but that's something that we may not open with. So we'll get there. Right. We'll get there. I've got one that tasted really nice when I tasted it this morning. That's finishing up its fermentation. So we may open with one, but we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Hefeweizen, the original hazy beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big thing, New England IPA.
Yeah.
Big haze craze right now. So
yeah. I wonder how long that'll last.
So we'll see. We may do a Hefeweizen offshoot of that.
That's cool.
See if we can maybe meld those two together somehow.
I bet you that
might be interesting.
No, I bet that would work.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume. I'll try it.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
I'll need some testers for that. So.
I'll volunteer myself.
Right. I got my hand up.
Yeah. Any more questions, Haidyn? No.
What? How are the neighbors here in the stretch of
in the facility?
Yeah. How they've been besides your company here?
Oh, they've been great. We've got all different kinds of stuff going on here. Dance studio, basketball stuff.
Yeah.
A car restoration guy just came in. He does classic cars.
Oh, cool.
So we've got CrossFit, which is really great because they run by here every day. We play Eye of the Tiger for them.
Nice.
So, so hopefully when they're thirsty after their workout, they'll stop by and completely ruin their workout.
No, you got a carbo load.
Yeah.
You need those nutrients.
It'll add to it. Yeah.
Just tell them about all the antioxidants in the yeast.
We're going to do a light, what they call a light beer, which is a toned back version of a full beer.
Okay.
It's not a watered down version like the big beers, but so it'll be lower in calories and alcohol. And so
like
maybe
a German session beer.
Yeah, but
nice.
but a light session beer, that's not a Rodler,
Yeah.
So
Rodler. So that's okay.
Rodler is like half lemonade, half beer.
Yeah.
Type of
that was
deal.
a Radler.
Radler. Yeah.
But Rodler. So I'm going to go with Rodler from now on. That's the appropriate
That makes one. Carver makes one of them, didn't they?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's some ginger
lemon or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of Carbach, this morning, I'm going to bring up my phone. In North Carolina, people ask me why I don't drink Carbach anymore. I mean, some people don't, but the people that do, they're like, well, the beer still tastes the same. I'm like, yes, it does. And even the people there that I've known before ABI bought them out, I still consider them friends, and I hope the best for them, right?
Yeah.
But when you talk about, philosophical or like undertones of, why you do the decisions that you make. Let me find this story real quick. It was out of North Carolina. There's a lawsuit with illegal activity. I'm going to say alleged because I don't know that it's been, but it's a secret agreement between Anheuser-Busch and their distributor, one of their big distributors now, to basically give payoffs to if you sell more Budweiser, you get bonuses and things like that. Completely, just so it's straight from ABI. Like, we'll pay you more money if you push this beer more. And so it's that type of thing. That's within that company. And it's like, what, that undermines my friends and my local brewery and all that kind of stuff. So that's why.
Yeah, there was a recent beer festival, I think, in the Woodlands. And I don't know if this is true, but I heard it was all ABI products and their affiliates or their subsidiary
I think so.
breweries.
Yeah, I don't know that it was. I think I didn't look much into it. When I see that, when the lineup and it's like mostly those beers, I'm like, okay, that's not really.
Yeah.
Because typically what comes with those type of events, it's like, sure, okay, some people can go and enjoy it, but it's more, the focus is just a little, not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I'm more of a laid back. I think for me, like beer fests in general, it's like too much. Like I'm more of I want to dive into this one or two beers.
Yeah.
And just go deep.
Yeah.
It's more like speed dating at a at a festival.
Yeah.
It's like I've been married for 16 years. I'm not into speed dating.
Right.
I just want a night to sit on the couch. And get into this conversation.
That's right.
Conversation.
Gemütlichkeit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right, Mike? Anyway, but that was the story. I'm sure this will be discussed more, but secret agreements. That's why they're not ABI history of not being so stand up. I mean, they do
Yeah.
some good things. Let's be honest, like the water for hurricanes and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's always nice, and but that still doesn't. They still do shady things.
Yeah, I think that's the problem.
Yes.
If they played a little more fair, they might.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know what? I understand why they feel threatened. Like their motive is exposed, right? It's craft beer is a threat, and so okay, they tried to buy a bunch of them. Like, all right, that'll take care of that.
Right.
Well, no, it's the information age. Everybody knows who owns what, or most people do.
Right.
So maybe not the impact that they thought it was going to have. So
Right.
it's
And we still have competition here, so anybody can come into the market and try to outcompete them. So that
yeah, and they're not equipped to go like with you. Your size is the way you move, your agility, your ability to listen to the people that actually come up and try your beer from the neighborhood. They're going to talk directly to you.
Yeah.
ABI is so big and they're so corporate that for some one person to be able to say, well, this was a little, I would do this differently. Well, that's
right. Yeah, I think they're more disconnected from.
Yeah. So, I don't know that they'll ever go away completely, but I mean, I guess eventually everybody goes away completely. It's eventually it'll all explode. But to get very dark real quick on this podcast, but they're not able to compete on that level. So
Who knows?
Yeah.
I know in Germany that the brewers are very much involved with the bars directly.
Oh, really?
It's
Well, they didn't have
different there.
prohibition over there, right?
No.
Yeah.
No.
That was kind of the big thing that got us to where we are now with all of that.
Yeah.
Like having to deal with that. So breweries own bars, or how does that work? Or they just
They're
distribute directly to them?
very much. I don't know if they directly own them. They may. I don't know. The jury's still out on that as far as what I know about that part. But
Okay.
I know they're very directly involved. You'll see the laws are slightly different over there as far as involvement.
Well, yeah, like pre-prohibition here, you would have an all Budweiser bar, and they would say, all right, you want to own this bar? We'll facilitate tables and chairs and pool tables and all,
Right.
and then I'll only serve Budweiser.
I'll just put it this way: I go into some places, like in my mom's hometown, for instance, and they'll just serve that brewery's beer.
Yeah.
So whether the ownership is part of that or not, I don't know.
Well, it's like a satellite taproom location.
Yeah, it's definitely an agreement that that's the only beer they're going to serve. So.
Okay.
But again, you see, that some of that goes back to the hyperlocal stuff as well. You don't really go into a bar in Germany and say, hey, I want this specific beer that's, I want a Heineken, or I want this. It's usually only the local beers, and it may just be from one brewery. You just go in and say, I want a beer. You may say, I want, a Helles, or I want, a Keller beer or something like that. That might be your choice.
Yeah.
But variety as far as brand is typically not. So you usually get very, very local only type beer.
What about like when you go to the grocery store or something like that? Do they have a big variety there?
They do. They in fact, they have just drink markets.
Okay.
So and they still do return bottles there. So that's a big thing.
Okay. So canning hasn't taken off quite as much there as it has here?
No, not at all. Not at all. You go get your case of those big, heavy returnable bottles, and drink your beer and take it back and get your deposit back. They even do that with plastic bottles. They have these machines at the grocery store, and you just put your plastic bottles back in there, and it gives you a receipt to go to the cash register and
Wow.
get a credit for groceries or use it for cash back or whatever. So
That may be better for the environment, but I don't know if I want to have
no,
a bunch of bottles.
I would not want to deal with people putting cigarette butts in bottles
Yeah.
and having to clean all that out. And I don't even want to know. So,
Yeah, that's gross.
Or spit bottles.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna keep throwing mine out the window.
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna deal with my bottle
Right.
problem. Yeah. Have you thought about? I know that taproom, and then eventually maybe on tap at different locations. But have you thought about packaging?
Yeah, we've thought about it quite a bit. That'll be something that's kind of a phase 2 type deal down the road a little ways. We've been going back and forth with bottles and cans.
Clap your hands.
Yeah. And I think for what we envision and what we want to portray our brand as or whatever is I think we're going to be going the bottle route.
Mm-hmm.
Cans are definitely much cheaper to do, so that does save money. But we just feel like the bottle is the better vessel for what the direction we want to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So
yeah. Well, and you can always. I mean, there's the way things are developing. There's mobile canning companies and things like that. So if you wanted to switch up or do just one beer in a can, that's
we could do that. We could do. I don't want to have two different lines, but I don't want to deal with that. But if we do it in house, but the problem is I've seen, I know Cyclers uses a mobile canner.
Mm-hmm.
That was my introduction to Cyclers. I got to be on the canning line.
Yeah.
But I don't know of any mobile bottlers. There may be some out there, but I haven't come across any yet.
Yeah,
and at least not in the local or even area.
Yeah, I think it just all started with cans.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't. Yeah. I've never even looked into that.
So I'd be very open to doing something like that, especially since we want to do bottles. So,
okay, so when you do the cans and
Mm-hmm.
you bring in the mobile canner, like with Cyclers, did they have their cans in house?
Yeah, they already had their printed cans.
Okay.
And so the guys came in and set up, and then we just started knocking it out, and
Okay.
it went very quickly. They have a I can't remember the name of the canner, but I think they were out of Austin. And
Probably the same group I was at Backfish a couple weeks ago, and they had the mobile canner there.
Yeah.
They were canning their double IPA.
Yeah, so they were very efficient and very little waste. There was only just a few cans that got mangled, but
Yeah.
other than that, it was really efficient and went really fast, considering how much they did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Maybe we should have opened a mobile canning company.
Bottling.
Maybe we should do open bottle. Yeah. I
Both?
don't know. Maybe. I'd probably just where it feeds the cans. I would just put my face under there. Yeah.
right.
What happened to all the beer?
Well, we had to do something with those mangled cans. They were still drinkable.
Yeah.
So
right.
I mean, to take care of that.
Duty.
Can't waste it.
It's your duty.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we've talked about when you plan to open, but anything last few words you want to make sure that everybody knows about Klaus Brewing heading into the future, and just when they listen back on this podcast, maybe 2 or 3 years from now. Anything you want to tell,
Right.
a question you have for your future self, or something you want to tell yourself to remember into the future?
Well, not really. That we're just going to try a different approach to the market. Go German focus, and work our way out from there. Do different series from different regions, and hopefully everybody likes it.
Yeah.
So, food trucks and games, and have fun.
Yeah. Family friendly.
Family friendly.
Yeah.
Pet friendly.
Cool.
So we'll have our outdoor area is going to be bigger than our indoor area. So,
wow.
Yeah, and we'll have it somewhat partially covered and non-covered, depending on whether you want sun or not.
Yeah.
So, live entertainment. So, we'll have it going on for
Cool.
sure.
Haidyn, what's your favorite game that we've played at breweries? Like, we Connect Four and the cornhole and cornhole.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, cornhole's pretty
Pretty popular.
Yeah. I'm not very good at it.
I am.
Your Greg is pretty good at it. Are there like set cornhole rules, like an official? I'm sure
I
there
have
are.
no idea.
Yeah.
I think there are, but
Nobody.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
spacing between.
It's like Monopoly. Everybody kind of makes up their own.
Yeah, like free parking.
who
Yeah,
who
free
I guess it depends on who you play with,
What with
Yeah.
Monopoly?
or any game.
Yeah.
You set the rules.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't play like that.
Yeah, Monopoly though for sure. Like you gotta have
Oh,
that
yeah.
free parking, so you can get
Right.
that windfall when you land on that thing.
That's right.
Just buy all the properties and just wreck shop.
Yeah.
Monopoly. I've only finished like 2 games in my life of actual.
Yeah.
On the video game, I finish all the time because there's a strat. It's easy.
Yeah.
You start with the cheap properties and work your way around, and then Mike, make sure you have one of each color so nobody else can get a monopoly, and then do whatever you have to do to get those first 2, and then just start putting hotels all the way around.
I think probably the longest I played Monopoly, like maybe 20 minutes.
You can get through a game on your phone if it's set to
Definitely
easy.
not playing it on my phone.
Fill your properties with houses because there's a finite set of houses. So
That's-
if you use all the houses, nobody else can get
You have
them.
a monopoly on the houses.
Houses.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The housing market.
That's
Mhm.
right.
You can be
Because of housing shortage.
yeah. You can be be a slumlord if you get those first couple properties
Oh,
on
yeah.
Baltic Avenue.
The purple ones.
Yeah. So I think everybody goes for Boardwalk, and that's overrated.
Yeah,
How many-
that's shooting way too high to begin with.
Well, and how hard, and it's so hard to land on Boardwalk.
Oh, yeah.
It's like that one little sliver of property. I think the yellows and the reds and the oranges, medium prices,
There you
but
go.
everybody lands on it.
That's
Anyway.
right.
Anyway, that's a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, we'll wrap there, and we'll just wait with anticipation for when your
Yep.
beers are ready, and then the doors are open, and the party's going, and we're
Yep.
gonna come out and hang out. And I'll just say, Thomas, thank you so much for having us out.
Yeah,
This is,
appreciate you letting me be on.
of course. So we'll be back soon because we want, once you've been into it for a while, I'm sure you'll have a whole bunch more stories.
Yeah,
to
I was
tell.
a zombie last week when those guys were here trying to learn all that system. So yeah,
How-
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same way once we get going.
What are your like a week? How many hours are you putting in here? Is it sporadic? Like sometimes
It's sporadic, but when they were here, it was all day straight, almost for 5 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
From 8 to that evening, whenever we got done. So,
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
You gotta learn it. You gotta learn it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll all calm down once you get customers through the door. It'll be just smooth sailing.
Yeah.
and-
Get a few
Yeah.
get a few brews on each on the system there. You'll
well,
run it like
Right.
a pro.
yeah. There's always that's the thing. It's like it just goes right
Practice
into
makes perfect.
the next
Yeah.
part. So, but I'm excited. I'm super
Good.
excited.
Appreciate it.
And I'm
Yeah.
super happy for you guys getting to open and
Thank you very much.
Open close to me. That's fine.
Yes.
It's always comes
Close
back
to me too. Yep.
All right. Well, everybody, Klaus Brewing in Houston, officially Sci-Fair area here on Jones Road near West, right? Jones West.
Yep.
Pretty close.
Fallbrook.
Fallbrook, yes, in that area. So head on up northwest, depending on where you are in the city of Houston, and come on and visit Klaus and tell him that InterBrews sent you. Thanks to Haidyn. Great job today. Excellent questions. Good job. Okay. All right. I just had your mic down. Mike, good job as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Thomas, all right.
Thank you.
So for everybody at the table, I'm Josh, and this is InterBrews.
This is InterBrews.
The preceding has been a presentation of Stewed Productions.